alaikum dear viewers, and welcome to the Learn Arabic show. So in our previous session, we have been discussing about the pronouns in the past tense format. We have completed with huwa past tense, then we moved on to hiya. So we did huwa, hiya, then we went to ana and nahnu, anta and anti. Now today we'll be continuing with these past tense with the other pronouns. So today we'll be having antuma, okay? So we'll be continuing with the verbs. فعل However, today we'll be doing the past tense for antuma. Past tense for antuma. And you all know what antuma is, right? Okay, so antuma means you two, male plus female, right? Male plus female. Right, so this is what we are going to be discussing, however in the past tense format, right? So I have antuma. So I'm going to list down a few verbs here and how do they take the past tense format. So if I have my pronoun here, antuma. Now, for example, I have the verb, let's say I have the verb shariba. Shariba is my root verb, right? So my root verb is shariba, right? So because my root verb is shariba, I will convert this into antuma form, right? Because shariba is he drank. Huwa shariba. Now I want to say antuma shariba. So how will I say shariba? So this is my root verb first. My root verb is what? Shariba, which means what? Which means he drank. He drank, right? So I want to change this huwa shariba, he drank, into you two, male plus female, drank, right? So I will add, so what will I add? I will add a ta and a mim alif. Ta nominative and mim alif with an accusative. So I will add this at the end of the word. So because I will add this at the end of the word, so it becomes sharibtuma. There. So I have sharibtuma. So I can say antuma sharibtuma. So what have I done here? I have added the ta and the mim alif. Now you notice again the same trend we were speaking about yesterday. For example, anti sharibti, right? Anta la'ibta. Again here, the same trend. Antuma sharibtuma. Okay, so this here at the end remains the same. So I have just added the ta and the mim alif to make it sharibtuma. Okay, let's look at another example. For example, I have the root verb as la'iba. So my root verb being la'iba. And what does la'iba mean? La'iba means he played, right? Right. Now I want to say you two, male plus female, played. So how will I say? Obviously I will use the same steps. So the first step being, I have added here a ta and a mim alif with an accusative on top, right? So la'iba becomes la'ibtuma. So I have added again the ta and the mim. So it becomes la'ibtuma, right? So I have la'ibtuma. So I have la'ibtuma. Okay, so antuma la'ibtuma means you two played. You two either could be male or female. Okay, so I can say la'ibtuma waladan means you two boys played, or la'ibtuma bintan. Okay, I can use any. Why? Because this pronoun here is for dual male plus female. So let's look at other examples. Right. Now remember those three special cases I was talking about yesterday in terms of anta and anti? We had qala, that was the first. We had qala. Qala. Qala means he said. Now I want to change this into antuma. I want to say you two said. So how will I change it? Again, I will add ta and mim. So there's an addition of ta and mim. But what changes here? The thing that changes here is you will notice that this accusative sign here will change into a nominative sign. This accusative sign, while I change it into antuma, it will become nominative. Now because it becomes nominative, that makes it a special case. So it becomes qultuma. Okay, so I have qultuma. In the previous words, what was happening was that the last word, for example, shariba becomes sharibtum. So the last word carries a jussive, and I add a ta and a mim. Okay, and a mim alif with an accusative. But here, what happens is, of course, I've added the ta and the mim, but the accusative becomes the nominative. So qala becomes qultuma. Okay, so I have huwa qala, hiya qalat, anta qulta, anti qulti, antuma qultuma, right? Then we look at the next example. We said qama. Okay? Now what did I say about qama and qala? I said that they have the same format. Okay? They have the same format, right? And because they have the same format, both of them have an alif here, qa, and both of them end with an accusative. Only that the lam here is replaced with the mim. So obviously even in the pronoun, it will take, even in the verb, it will take the same format. So qama becomes qumtuma. Okay? So again here, the accusative, what happens to the accusative? It changes into the nominative. So qama becomes qumtuma. Okay? So I have qumtuma. Alright? So I have huwa qama, hiya qamat, ana qumtu, anta qumta, anti qumti, and antuma qumtuma. Okay, so that's how it's going to take the trend. Then we went to the third special case, which was the verb hajj, hajja. Right, so I went to the verb hajja. Okay, what did I say about the verb hajja? Means he performed hajj, right? He performed hajj. So I have the verb hajja. So hajja, I said that the origin of this verb hajja was harjaja. Remember, with the two jims. So I have harjaja. And from my previous session yesterday, I had said that this harjaja, the Arabic grammarians have dropped one jim. Of course, they have dropped this out, and they have only left it out with one jim, and they have added a tashdeed sign on that jim. So harjaja became hajja. But now I want to say you two, male or female, performed hajj. So I'm going to go back to the origin, because if I just use this, it's not going to make sense, like, you know, hajjatuma. It's not going to make sense. So I'm going to use the origin, because while pronouncing, this is more easier. While pronouncing, it makes more sense and it's easier to pronounce. So the Arabic grammarians thus decided that while changing this verb here into antuma, they will use the origin of the verb. So if I want to change it, so harjaja will become harjajtuma, antuma harjajtuma. Antuma harjajtuma, meaning you two performed hajj. So I have antuma harjajtuma, means you two performed hajj. So basically this is how it is going to take the format. Now we are going to have a little sort of an exercise to to know how much you have understood. And of course, the rest of the list of words I gave you, apart from these three special cases, the qala, the qama, and the hajja, they will take the same format, okay? So for example, I have hadara. Hadara, he came, becomes hadartuma, okay? Jalasa becomes jalastuma. Dhakara becomes dhakartuma. Nadara becomes nadartuma, okay? So the rest of the words will carry the same format except for the three special cases that I listed here. Right, so now we'll have a sort of an exercise. Right, so I'm going to list down words here and you're going to tell me what pronoun is appropriate for the word. Right, so if I have, for example, I have this word, for example, waladani. And you know from our previous session when we were discussing about the duals, you know that this word here is dual. And what does it mean? Two boys. And what's the singular for waladan? The singular for waladan is waladun. So this is two boys. And what's the singular? The singular will be waladun. Right. So I have the word here, waladani, okay? And I want you to fill in an appropriate pronoun. It could be any. It could be a demonstrative pronoun or it could be just any pronoun, right? So you can just recall what are the demonstrative pronouns. The demonstrative pronouns, we have hadha, we have hadhihi, we have hadhan, we have hatan, we have dhalika, and we have tilka. So any one of these demonstrative pronouns which you think that is appropriate for this sentence to make it an appropriate sentence, waladan. So I can say hadhani waladani, means these two are boys or these are two boys. So I can say hadhani waladani, or I can say antuma waladani, right? I can say Antuma waladani. Hadhani waladani, these are two boys. Antuma waladani, you are two boys, okay? Now let's look at another word. I have the word nashafatun. Nashafatun means duster, okay? So I have the word nashafatun. And I want you to fill for me here an appropriate pronoun. So nashafatun, duster. So remember when we were doing about the feminines, we had discussed about the feminines, and what did we say about the feminine? We said that if the noun is the feminine, then the pronoun is also going to be a feminine. So if I have nashafatun, any demonstrative pronoun, so I can say hadhihi. I can say hadhihi nashafatun, or I can say tilka nashafatun, right? Tilka nashafatun. So I can say this is a duster, or I can say that is a duster. Hadhihi nashafatun, this is a duster. Tilka nashafatun, that is a duster. Any other pronoun that I can fit? Of course, I cannot say hiya nashafatun because nashafatun is not a living, right? Okay, so that was nashafatun. What if I have kitabun? Right, so for kitabun, any demonstrative pronoun that's appropriate, I can say hadha. Hadha kitabun, I can say dhalika. Hadha kitabun, that is a book, this is a book. Dhalika kitabun, that is a book. Alright, so this is how to form simple sentences using pronouns. This was just a recap of what we have been doing. Now let's go to verbs. Right, so now I have the verb. For example, I have the verb la'ibti. I have the verb لعبتي. And you are going to place before this verb here an appropriate pronoun. Right. So what can I say about لعبتي? Can I say أنا لعبتي? No, it doesn't make sense, right? Can I say أنت لعبتي? No. So it's going to be أنت لعبتي. So I have here أنت لعبتي. What about the next one? So let's say, for example, I have this verb here, جلستما. Okay, I have the verb جلستما. So what can I say? I can say أنتما جلستما, right? So I have أنتما. أنتما جلستما means you two sat. Okay, but I can also add a word next to this word here. I can also add another word, right? So let's make it as the third example. So for example, I have the word جلستما. So I have the word جلستما. Jalastuma means you two sat. But who you two? I can say jalastuma, any noun that is appropriate. Now here you have to fit a noun. Here we were fitting pronouns. So I can say jalastuma waladan. Okay? Jalastuma waladan. Or I can say, or I don't want to say jalastuma waladan. I can say jalastuma bintan, means you two girls sat. So I can say jalastuma bintan. So these are the appropriate pronouns, nouns I can place before this verb. Okay, so jalastuma waladan, you two boys sat. Jalastuma bintan, you two girls sat. Okay. Okay, now we'll just sum up with the last example. Let's say I have the verb qara'a. Right. So if I want to fill in an appropriate pronoun, I can say huwa qara'a. Is there any other pronoun that I can fill in? No, it's only huwa. Huwa qara'a. But what if I change this and let's say I say qara'tuma. What if I say qara'tuma? So I can say antuma qara'tuma, right? So I have here antuma, antuma, antuma qara'tuma. Okay. Just a few last questions before we end up with our session for today. Right. So what if I have example qara'na or qara'na. So what can I say about qara'na? An appropriate pronoun, I can say nahnu qara'na, meaning we recited. So I have nahnu qara'na. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in various verbs, and you are going to tell me whether it is masculine, is it referring to masculine or is it referring to a feminine. Okay, so if I say for example hadartuma. Hadartuma. Now you are going to tell me, is it masculine or is it feminine? So you know that the verb hadartuma, what is the appropriate pronoun? So the first thing that should come to your mind, okay, I have been given the verb hadartuma. What's the appropriate pronoun? Antuma. And what does antuma mean? You two, male plus female. So this is for both. This is for both, male plus female. Okay. What if I say labisa? Labisa means he wore. Okay. So what if I say labisa? Okay, I've already given you the answer, right? So labisa is for masculine or for feminine? Labisa is for masculine, and of course here it's referring to huwa, right? Okay, so what if I have the verb jalasat? Jalasat, right? So when I say jalasat, I can just come and say, okay, jalasat, what do I mean? Who am I referring to? Am I referring to a masculine or feminine? Am I referring to a masculine or feminine? So you'll tell me. First, this verb here, okay, what's the appropriate pronoun? So you're going to say the appropriate pronoun for jalasat. You can say hiya jalasat. Can I say ana jalasat? No. If I want to say I sat, it will be jalastu. Okay, so jalasat is for hiya, feminine. So I'll say hiya jalasat. So this is for feminine and I'm referring to hiya. I'm referring to she sat. Okay, so hiya jalasat, right? So this sums up our class for today. Inshallah, tomorrow we shall be continuing with other more pronouns and in their past tense, and of course after completing the past tense we shall move on to the present tense. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Thanks for listening and have a nice day.